Hi everyone, this is Erin from Sandpaper Road, and this is Tackle Your Stack. I am so happy to get started with you. If you have been scrapbooking for a while or card making for a while, it is no doubt that you have piles and piles of stacks and piles, loose papers, partially used stacks with scraps and things. We are going to make a lot of paper craft projects, and we're going to make it super easy on your time, your budget, and we're going to work through some of these, this stash, so stick around. This is a tutorial series. There's nothing for you to buy. There is nothing for you to buy. We're just going to be making projects. This video is for A, B, C, and D. So I'm going to take just a minute and show each template on the screen so that you can take a screenshot. Here is A. And then here is B. And C. And here is D. Now these templates are also available at sandpaperroad.com, and you can just click on Tackle Your Stack and you'll see them there. As we release each set of 4, what your goal is these aren't downloads. You could, I suppose, use them as printables, but they're not downloads. They're simply just, I guess, guides for you to, template guides. The goal is for you to hand draw your own. So what you're going to need, the only thing you're going to really need besides your pattern paper and cardstock is some blank, I call it scrap 12 by 12 paper. And I just use, like, if I have a top loading album that I have that hasn't been used yet, I pull the blank paper out. Oftentimes it's like flimsy paper, or maybe you want to use like the back of a sheet of something. Maybe you know you'll never use this pattern, so you just want to use the back of it. Regardless, you're going to need several 12 by 12 sheets to use to hand draw your templates. Okay, and this is what my hand drawn A looks like. I use a T ruler, or if you have this system, you know, with the ruler guide thing that comes with it, this is nice because there's a grid, just a regular ruler, just anything that you can measure out these measurements, okay? And the reason why we're drawing this here on paper, you'll see why as we go. I can't even explain it right now because it's going to be too long, and I really just want to get started. If you have a scoreboard, now this is not required to participate. Everybody can participate. If you have 12 by 12 paper, you can participate. If you have a scoreboard, you might want that to help you, because what you can do then is use the cutting guide, the template guide, lay your blank 12 by 12 paper on it and score the lines. That'll make your life a little bit easier, and then you can draw it, go over it like with a Sharpie or something like that. Once you have these hand drawn, then you'll have them, and you can make a bunch of projects with them. In addition to the pattern paper that you choose, you're going to need 1 sheet of 8.5 by 11 size cardstock. What we're going to be doing actually is cutting it. I drew it like a template. I don't remember if this is on the Tackle Your Stack part of sandpaperroad.com or not. This is pretty common knowledge. If you are a card maker, if you're a scrapbooker, maybe not so much. But an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, or a piece of cardstock, I mean, cut just right down the middle, and then you fold this way. That is how you create these A2 size cards. And this is what it looks like. Okay, right? Because look, then you've got your two A2 size cards. So you're going to need one piece of 8.5 by 11. Now, if you don't have any cardstock this size, you can certainly use a 12 by 12 sheet and cut it down to 8.5 by 11 and then make your one cut down the center. You can also use, maybe you have in your stash some like pre-cut card bases. Like I have a bunch of these. They're like embossed cards that I haven't used yet, or like cards you get like 10 in a box. You know what I mean? They're just pre-cut card bases. Maybe a bunch of patterns are on them. You know, I've had them in my stash for a while. Or maybe like I have this, I think I've used one or two out of this Wendy Becky Perfect Cardstock pre-cut and scored cards, whatever. That's fine too, whatever. You're definitely going to need that. And then also you might want to use solid cardstock 12 by 12 for your layout bases. Now, I didn't do that on mine. In the samples, you'll see that I use pattern paper for mine. But maybe you like to use solid for your base. That's up to you. But you'll definitely need, as you're choosing your paper, to think, okay, the templates A, B, C, and D, none of those are referring to the base of the layout. So we're going to do we're going to need to have something to put our cuts on, whether it's solid paper or maybe 2 additional pattern papers from the stack. But these are things you're going to need in addition to the templates as well. Here's what you'll make today with A, B, C, and D. Let me show you. I started, this was my trial one, okay? And I started, look at this cute layout. This is with the watering can stack by Die Cuts with a View. You'll make this. You'll make this in like no time. It's even got like a flap here. You'll just make it without even thinking. Along with the double page layout, you'll end up making 4 cards. Right with the same paper. I have this little tickle in my throat. It will not go away. Okay, then, so you could do it with this kind of paper if you want. Isn't this cool though? But look a little closer before I move on. Like, look, you can do a 4x6, 4x4 photo. Here, 4x6 photo. Here's like a wallet photo, 4x6, 4x6. And these are some cut aparts from the pack. I kind of went a little fast there. These here are just cut aparts that you just choose. Okay, but look how cute they are once they're all embellished and done. Isn't that cute? And this right here is a print. I refer to this on the template as keep print because you want to keep that print and use it as part of the layout. This here we cut out. I mean, that didn't take but a minute and a half maybe to cut that out. Isn't that nice? I also did it with some wedding paper and made the same. It's the same thing, but you'll see how it looks just a little bit different. Let me get the cards out of the way. Even if you are not a card maker, honestly, you won't even see yourself as quote unquote like making cards. You're just making the layouts. Look how beautiful this is. Fully embellished. Look at that. Isn't that nice? And you might think that it looks a little bit busy. It's because I used busier paper, but the layout itself is exactly the same. Here's the flap. I just put it on the other side. Here's the same pictures or the same places for photos right there. And you could slide that. I left that just like this so that you could slide the picture behind it. See? Isn't that cool? So it might look like this is a little bit busier of a layout, but I just used a little bit busier paper. So you can see here's the, it's the same pattern. There's 2 photos here. 2 photos here, the wallet, the 4x6s. There's even the same flap. The print, keep the print, right? You'll see how easy this is in a minute. You won't even notice it. And then while I was doing that, all of a sudden, just magically, 4 cards were made as well. I'm just so happy about this because how many times does my husband come home and say, oh, it's such and such a birthday, or oh, such and such got married this past weekend, like after the fact. So it's really, for me personally, I like to have cards on hand because then I don't have to be like, oh, stop what I'm doing to make a card to play catch up. I could just drop it in the mail. Isn't that nice? Okay. Now this is what we're going to make today. This is the paper I'm going to use today, is some Christmas paper. And I'm so excited because my goal here is, as we do the Tackle Your Stack series, I'm going to use Christmas paper all throughout. And then by the end of the series, I think I have this backwards. By the end of the series, I want to have a whole album like done, a 12 by 12 album done. It's going to take no time. Wait until you see it. Here's this, right? Look at that underneath. I just cut that out. The bell. Isn't this beautiful, beautiful paper? Look at that. Now it's all embellished. Obviously you'll embellish yours, you know, with the quote or, you know, like I say the bell, but however you want. It's the same thing. Look, the 2 wallets. Here's the 2 4x6s. Here's the flap. And then I just embellished it with the rest of the cutouts and stuff that come with the paper. Isn't that great? Oops. Yeah, you won't believe it. It won't take us that long at all. So here's the card. Look at this. Look at that. Yep, it's going to be easy. So you can use whatever you want. Now I'm going to use, just to show you about choosing your paper. Let's see. I think I'm actually going to use this just to demonstrate, okay? Something a little bit more like this. Now I'm going to use this pack to actually do the project today. But this, I just want to show you about each piece, A, B, C, and D. So if you take a look, now I've got on the template guide, you'll see that I have inches and centimeters. Just write down, when you're drawing your lines, make sure to write all these instructions, okay? And just write whatever type of measurement you use. So if you use inches, don't even worry about writing the centimeters, or vice versa. And make sure that you label it A. Now this has, and the same goes for B. And this is just how they look when I drew them. And these are the ones I use. The ones that you'll see on sandpaperroad.com, those I made a little bit nicer and crispier so they look a little bit professional, like I went on to made them graphic. But honestly, if you have a 12 by 12 printer, you could feel free to print the nice ones, but your hand drawing one is just going to be just fine. Also, I put little notes here, like for example on B, you're going to want to cut this when you actually cut it, not drawing it. You're going to want to cut this one first. It'll be real easy. You'll see as we go, okay? Save, print, or cut circles. That means this is an area that we're going to save the picture, or we're going to use this area, and maybe you have some die cut shapes that you want to cut circles out of this section. If you don't have die cuts, but you still want to cut circles, you could always use your roll of tape and trace on the inside and then cut circles, or like a cup, like a styrofoam cup or something, just anything that's a circle. That's what I'm saying. Anybody can participate. You don't have to have special craft supplies other than pattern paper, okay? This part is another keep print, and I'm going to explain that. We do have some that are for a 4x6 card base, and I'll explain a little bit more about that in a few minutes. All these little things you just definitely want to write down when you're doing your drawing. These are going to be yours forever then, what you draw. And then this one, this big keep print, we're going to use this for fussy cutting images or cutting circles, or if you have an electronic cutting machine and you want to cut a title, you know, you'll have some of this. Here's where we make that fold, that flap. So you'll cut it on the solid line and then fold it on the dotted line. You won't, it looks complicated just from looking at it. The hardest part for you with Tackle Your Stack is going to be choosing your paper. Now take a look at this. This is just, I just moved this up on top, okay? Watch this. Actually, let me put this to the side. Oh, good. Oh, good. Okay, good. Let's imagine that we're going to choose something for A, all right? Now, I'm going to spend time using this as the guide just to help you see what we're doing. This is going to be an 8x8 square on a scrapbook layout. Let me go back to that other one. The 8x8 square is going to be either this 8x8 square, see the flowers? Or it's going to be this 8x8 square. See this pink one? So just keep in mind that that's how they're going to look on a scrapbook layout. They're going to be about that size. You're going to have about that much paper showing once you get the photos down and such. Okay? Just to give you an idea, depending on the paper you choose, you see how different, look, this is my 8x8 square. I liked that girl so much, I made her part of the 8x8 square. And then here's the other one, is that wedding couple. That's the 8x8 square. Okay? So your choice. It's your choice. Now let's see. Something that on this one is going to be a card base. Okay? Now, here's where you have to do some thinking. This paper is pattern paper and I love it. But as a card base, it's a bit flimsy, okay? So what you might want to do is anything that maybe says card base, you could do either two things. You can either use maybe a little bit of a stronger cardstock for like A and where's the other one? And C. Or maybe you just want to go ahead and use the flimsier paper, but then mount like some extra cardstock inside, like a panel inside and a panel on top, just to sort of strengthen it up a little bit. It won't matter that much, but I just don't want you to be dissatisfied at the end when you're like, oh, I wish this was a little thicker. Okay. Also, if you notice that on this pack of paper, it's single-sided. Now, that's good for a card base because then you have a white inside. But if you want a little bit of variety, maybe you want to choose, where did I just have that other paper? Like here's some other Christmas paper that's, this is a good Christmas paper too. And it's two-sided. I think it's by Stampin' Up. And it's a little bit thicker. So imagine this being a card base here. Then you'd have this as the outside and this as the inside. Wouldn't that be nice of a card base? This is an 8x8 square. And then you'd have a panel for an A2 card and a photo mat for a wallet right there. Do you see how that'll go? Ooh, look at that. Look at that. Now imagine this. Imagine here is an 8x8 square. That is beautiful. That is beautiful. I might just go ahead and do that. Look at that. That's beautiful. I don't even know where this paper came from. It's just in my stash. But yeah, whatever paper you have, look at it as you're choosing. The choosing is the hardest part, honestly. So there's going to be an 8x8 square. Look at that. There's going to be my card base. Folded in half. Imagine it cut right there, folded in half, and then this would be the front of a card. Can you see that? And then you'd have cuts right there for that. That's how you choose your paper, okay? For B, I'm just going to give you some inspiration and some explanation here before we actually go ahead. Okay, same thing. You've got an 8x8 square. You've got to save, print, or cut circles. Now here's where you can get creative because let's say, for example, you want to save this, you like this paper and you want to use it and you want to save this bell. Or like this first thing that I pulled out, this, right? Where it's got something here. Or this, where it's got something here. And let's say you want to save that. Well, anywhere where your template says save print, or keep print. That's where you can do, look how you can turn that. Look how you can turn that, you see, to fit. Now maybe it doesn't fit exactly right because we've got this part right here. Don't worry. Then you can do some, maybe you want to put that as part of the 8x8. Okay, so just experiment. Or maybe this one would work a little bit better because this one has a little lip. So I could keep the Merry Christmas, turn it, okay, and just cut it this way and keep the print down here. It's all about just turning your paper, okay? These are panels for 4x6 cards, and then this says to use on a 4x6 card, and here's a long strip. You don't have to think too hard about it, especially if it's a paper like this. Maybe you just love the paper and you don't care how it comes out. You just want to use it somehow on your layout. That's another good way that you can use it here. Okay, let's move on to 3. Like I said, I'm just doing a few comments about each template before we go ahead. Here's another card base, and here's another keep print, and the rest of these are pretty self-explanatory. This is a photo mat for a wallet, a panel for an A2 size card, somewhere on a 4x6 card, and a photo mat for a 4x6 photo. This is where your double-sided paper really comes in handy, now, like I said, anytime you see something that says keep print, look at this one. I'm just thinking of this off the top of my head. Look at that. Imagine if this was it. You would keep that whole word joy just like that. Or maybe, and you could just go right ahead. Just turn the paper this way and cut everything this way. So cut the 4x12 here. Make all your cuts the same, but just start with your paper upside down. And you'll end up keeping that print right there intact. Okay? Or maybe it's this. Because look how it says Merry Christmas. Just turn it this way. Look, and you'll keep it. And you can use it. You can either fussy cut images. You can keep it right as it is. But in the meantime, you'll have all this other stuff getting cut out of it. Okay, so you're going to have to think a little bit outside the box simply by just turning your paper as you're making decisions about your paper. And the last one is D. Again, here's a big keep print section. That's going to be really good if you have, let's see what else we have here. Another of that joy paper. What's on the back of this? I said I was going to use this other one, and I'm not really. Let's see what we have here on this one. Ooh, I saw that big Noel. Yeah, that's nice. That's a nice wood grain paper here. The single-sided, yeah, not a whole lot happening with the single-sided. Oh, there. That's nice. Can you imagine that going all down the side? You could keep that. Okay. Oh, look. There it is. There's something. Yeah, there. Look how that would be. See? All you got to do is turn the paper this way to make all your cuts. And then you'll keep the print. Okay? And don't try to trim anything to make it fit. Like, don't try to trim it to save the top of the tree. Just don't worry about it. You'll see how some of it will get covered up anyway. But just try. Now this right here, again, you'll cut it here and then fold on a line. We create all these things as we cut. So let's get started. Okay, let's get started and make some projects. Now the first thing I'm going to do is to cut, I have a 1 sheet of 8.5 by 11 cardstock, and we're going to make our first cut at 4 1/4, okay, which is just cutting it in half. And then you simply, that's all there is to it. You can score it. Some people like to score theirs. You could certainly just fold it right in half. And these are top folding cards. A2 is what is commonly referred to as the size. And I'm talking as if you've never made a card before. Of course, if you are a regular veteran seasoned card maker, you know this is pretty typical. And then you can trim these up. Sometimes they don't end up just quite, you know, there's a fold, or if you want to get exact with it, you could just trim that up. Sometimes my trimmer does some funny things if I'm just going too fast, as I'm trying to do on video. Yeah, and then these will be 2 of the cards. The other 2 will kind of just make themselves. Yeah, I didn't do that quite as nicely as I would have liked to do that. There's 1 1/4 right there. Okay, sorry. Must be under pressure. It looks like it. Okay, good. So there we have it. There's our card bases. These are our A2 size card bases. You can turn them this way if you like, and have side opening cards, whatever. Okay? If you cut your paper the other way, you'll have the cards that open this way. So you can't mess that up. You cannot mess that up. We'll put that aside. I'm going to use Carols in the Snow paper collection. Let's see. Okay, this comes with, I think there's usually 6 sheets in these. And they have these things on the back that are nice for embellishments. You know, later, we'll get to that later. Okay. So here are my 4 sheets. Now I have to make some decisions. How do I want my layouts to look? How do I want my layouts to look? I kind of want them to look a little. Look at. So nice. Oh my. It's just great. Just great. Okay. Well, let's see. I'm going to choose. I'm actually going to do this a little bit different than I did in my little sample one. Yeah, that looks really good. And then I can use these other 4. That's what I'll do. That's what I'll do. So this will be my card, or my card. These 2 will be my scrapbook layout bases. All right. As a matter of fact, before I do anything else, let's trim this down to 12 by 12. Okay. Let's just do that. Because then there's no turning back for me, right? I'm excited anyway. This is going to look really good. All right, I'm going to be a little bit more careful here with my paper trimmer and try to cut straight. There's 12 by 12. Okay, right here. There we go. Okay, so I want the wood grain to go the same way. There's even writing on this. This will go the same way. I could keep this. I might. I think I'll just put it to the side for now and trim this down to 12 by 12 as well. Now, when I use the, depending on your paper collection that you're using, you know, oops. If your paper collection comes with like cut aparts and things like that, that's always a plus. It just makes your life so easy. That's what they're made for, is for you to decorate cards or to just, you know, fill in the space where you're like, oh, it needs something. Yeah, that's why they make those there. Okay, good. Now we've got our 2, our bases. Let's see. Can you see both of those pretty good? Okay, good. All right, real good. Actually, let me move this, to be honest. Let me move it, because it's just going to get in the way. I'm going to remember that how they are. Okay. Let's do this. Let's just make this the card base. Would that be something? Where would it fold? No, that's kind of weird. No, that's kind of weird. Could we make this the card base? I think I already said that. We'll make a just a regular non-card base. So let's cut this to 12 by 12. We'll just use this one. All right. 12 is right here. No matter what, before you start on a template, I cut that crooked. How does a person cut something so crooked? How? Look at that. I just cut it crooked. How? Oh, well. I can't believe I'm like that, but I guess I wasn't paying good attention. So here we go. Let's pay better attention. Boy, I really have to focus. There we go. Does that happen to you? I'm glad I'm not the only one. All right, this is a little bit more forgiving. So let's just put, see how it is? See how it fits? All right, a 4x12. Watch, you'll see what's happening in just a second here. Okay. 4. My 4 is right here. Now you're gonna have to flip around a little bit. Look how I did that. Oh, I'm so mad at myself that I did it like that. I just cut it crooked. Okay, now look, this is why we hand draw it. There's the card base. Now, let's turn this and cut this at 8. 8 is right here. Now look at this. See? There's the 8x8. That's why we do this. That's why we hand draw it. Now this is our piece. See? And then if you get disoriented, you can look back. Oh, okay, that's how it's supposed to go. Oh, okay. Because you can lay it right down. Now I know that right here. Now if this is 4 by 5 1/4, this is 4 by 2 3/4. This is the part that's 4. Okay? So when we put it in our paper trimmer, let's cut the long one first. 5 1/4. 5 1/4. I can't see my own lines. 5 1/4. Okay, I have it marked. I just didn't know. 5 1/4. Right there. And now, just to make sure we've got it right, there, see? See how that is? Now, we have a panel for an A2 size card. We cut this earlier. There's our panel for our A2 size card. I could use this side or I could use this side. Whatever I want. I could turn it this way. I could turn it this way. Okay, I'm going to use this side because that side's beautiful. Great. I'm going to lay it on. Once I get this together and I can see that all the pieces are good, I'll just put them together as I go. So I'm going to put this on the card and just put the card off to the side, not gluing anything yet. What's this? This is my photo mat for my wallet. There's my photo mat for my wallet right there. Or maybe I want it on this side right here. That looks good over here, okay? Somewhere on this page. This was the 8x8 square, right? I can have it like this. I don't know if I like that. I might like it like this. Easy peasy. That is it. Maybe I want it down here. Maybe I want it up here. I'm just going to stick simple for this sort of show demonstration. But look at that. See how it's all coming together already? Now without gluing, I just go like this and I can move it out of my way. This is where, you know how have you seen how they make repositionable adhesive? This would be what it would be great for. So you could put, or maybe you have a little washi tape that is just sort of low tack, like a low tack tape that can come up easy. Yeah, that might be real good. Here's our 4x6 card, okay? And we're just gonna fold this. And we have to remember that this is a 4x6 card. You could fold it any way you want, this way or the other way. There. We're done with A. Can you believe it? Can you believe how amazing this is? I know it takes so long to get into it, but once you're in it, you're stuck. You're in it. It's amazing. All right, here's B. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Let's see. Think for hidden photo. D. Keep print. Keep print. Okay, I'm gonna hold off on that. Big piece for keep print. Now, just out of curiosity, hold on a second. Save, print, or cut circles. See, I could do that down here because look, it just so happens that they're the same. No way. I didn't even try to do that. That makes my heart really happy. Let me see the other one that says keep print. I think there was a big one. Yeah, see, look at this one. It won't matter. I could keep it on this one. Or save circles. And then use the, oh no, but I don't want to flip that up. Oh no, it wouldn't flip that up. Panel for a 4x6 card. Used on a 4x6 card. Cut second. That's so what we're going to do. Okay, I let the keep print guide me here, okay? Now, it says save, print, or cut circles. I want to save these right here. And look how it'll do it. It saves it perfectly. Well, almost perfectly. How can I get it to just that little bit over? I guess I just can't worry about it too much, huh? Could I? What if I did it this way? What if I did it this way? Oh, but then it would save this one. That's fine. Yep. Oh, but look, these are perfect though. Oh, but it wouldn't save both of them. No, this is fine. I'm going to just do it this way. Okay. I know I had to talk through that. I know. Okay, we're starting by cutting it carefully at the 12 by 12. Here we go. There's the 12. And then let me shave off this end here. 12 here. Okay. Very carefully. Okay. Now, what do we have in B? We have some instructions to cut first. 3.5 by 5.5, 3.5 by 5.5, 1 by 3.5. So this right here, this line is going to be at 3.5. Let me just cut it. Let me just cut it. 3.5. 3.5. Great. 3.5. Excellent. Now, cut first. Here's what we're doing. We line it up. Cut second. Clear over here. A 1/2 inch. Uh-oh. Sometimes my 1/2 inch can be. This is where I wish I had one of those paper trimmers with the arm. Because this can be just a bit tricky. See what I have to do. See, and it doesn't even matter. See? And I just end up moving it. I think I'm so slick, and then it moves. Okay. 1/2 inch. Very carefully. 1/2 inch. Very good. Okay, that's a nice 1/2 inch. Goes right there. Doesn't it? Oops, or does it go the other way? I don't know. Oh no, it goes this way. Because if I went like this, there it is. Cut print. All right, now 8 by 8. Here we go. Here's the 8. There. Very good. Ha, 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 ha. There we go. There we go. Save, print, or cut circles. All right, now we have a couple more cuts to make, right? Because we have to cut this one at 1. Right here. Let's make it so it's lined up. Cut this one at 1. Right there. See? And then cut this one. This is already at 3.5. So I need it at 5.5. Where's my 5.5? Okay, right there. 5.5. Okay. There. it doesn't matter. I want you to say, oh, I can hear you right now going, why would you cut through that? Why would you cut through that? Because it's just paper. And maybe I want to use this side. You see? It's just paper. Now this is the part where it says keep print, save print, or cut circles. I am going to cut that and make that real good and use it on a panel. You'll see. Because let's get our, what is this? A panel for a 4x6 card. This was the 4x6 card we made, remember? Here's our panel for it. Look at that. It fits right on top. Is that not so perfect? I know, it's so perfect. We'll put that to the side. What's this? A panel for a 4x6 card. We haven't made it yet. We haven't made it yet, but we'll save this over there with the other cards. This goes on a 4x6 card. Oh, it goes on a 4x6 card. Wouldn't this be so cute? Wouldn't this be so cute like this? I'm not going to do anything with it just yet. Like that is cute. We could imagine cutting out a notch right here. Like a little triangle right here. Putting that right here. Well, it doesn't, the lines. The pattern is the same. It lines up perfectly with the panel. So we could even just do it like that. Looks really good. So that's going to stay on the card somewhere. We don't exactly know where. This says it's for a scrapbook layout. So let's get our scrapbook layouts back out. Here we go. And this, oh my goodness, look at that. We could use it right there on this side. We could use it along the, well, this one has sort of, remember the things on the side, so it's not going to hurt anything. We could put it like that, but I think I kind of like the other side better. And I really think I like it over here better. Okay, that looks really good. I like how it's the same similar pattern because I used it out of the same collection. That's pretty cool. Here's the 8x8. All right, the other one. And if I turn it over and plunk it down right here, then I've got an 8x8. That looks amazing good. Now, maybe I want it more like this. Now that I get the other square in there. I don't know, but this is how it's looking so far. Okay? Okay. And here we have save print or cut circles. Well, I'm going to tell you that here's what I want to happen. I want to use this cut apart right here and this cut apart right here. So I'm actually going to do a little bit of a combination of both. Ooh, maybe I'll wait to trim it down quite so much. Yeah, maybe I'll just wait and leave this right here because before I cut into it, because I might want it on the layout and I might want it on the card. So actually, I'm just going to leave that to sit right there on B and move that off to the side somewhere. Okay. I don't want to move it too far because I feel like I'm running out of room. Okay, there we go. All right, let's go to C. Okay, I'm going to use this one for C. Let's cut this one down to a 12x12. Actually, when you're doing this, actually look at the measurement. Don't just cut the strip off because your paper, like look at that, that's the strip plus probably about 1/8 of an inch. So do look at your actual paper when you're trimming it down to, or the actual measurement when you're trimming it to 12x12. All right. There we go. Okay, now this is going to be a little easier because there's nothing really major about this paper that it needs to be something or something else. So I might want the lace on the bottom. Photo mat, card base, or do I want the lace on the card base? Well, it won't matter. The lace will be on the card base anyway. All right, I'll do it this way. So cut first. Let's do our 4 by 12. Oops, 4 by 12. So we'll cut it at 4. Carefully this time. Goodness, instead of the other way I cut it. There we go. There's the 4 by 12 right there. Cut second at 4. Now if this is right here, I'm going to have to turn it, see, to get the 4. If I turned it, see how I would have to cut it at 4 inches right there. That would be the 4-inch cut. So we'll turn it and cut it at 4. Right there. At 4, right there. Now, is that all there is to it? Oh no, there's a thing. 2 3/4, and then 5 1/4. Okay. 5 1/4. Well, here, 2 3/4. Here, 2 3/4. 2 1/2, 2 3/4. Okay. Right like that, and right like that. Now, this goes like this, right? Did it? Oh no, it went like this. See? That's why I need this paper. That's why exactly why I need to hand draw it. So I can do this and see where my orientation is. Okay, now let me cut. This is 8. Let me do a 3 3/4 this way, right here. 3 3/4. 3 3/4 this way. 3 1/2, 3 3/4 this way. See? There's my 3 3/4 this way. Now I can go this way and do a 1 3/4. There's the 1 1/2. There is the 1 3/4. Is that the same way? I think it is. There we go. 1 3/4. That's so satisfying. That right there is so satisfying. Right here is our, can you see that all the way? Oh, almost. Okay. Here is our 4 by 6 card base. I am going to fold it this way. I'm going to fold that way, because then this is a nice design on the outside. You open it up and that lace is up on the top. That's nice. I was hoping for that. Now, remember we had a panel? We had a panel before that we didn't have any use for yet. Look, look, see? See how it just forms. I am so happy. That right there gives me so much satisfaction. I don't want to sit and make cards all day and try to make scrapbook pages all day. I have the kind of mind where I need to get into layouts or get into cards or something, and this helps me. Yeah, so sorry, I just got a little excited there for a second. Here's we have a photo mat for we have a panel for an A2 size card. Here's the other one that we didn't use yet. We could make this one a side opening card. Look how pretty that is. That's beautiful. Yep, we'll make that a side opening card. Very nice. Get some Christmas cards made. Here is a photo mat for a 4 by 6 photo. I think all this stuff goes on, oh no, this goes on the card. Here it goes on a 4 by 6 card. Here's a thing that goes on a 4 by 6 card. This will be nice. We could put this right there. Now this hangs off the edge, which means I'm gonna like it better going like that or something. Or maybe coming up from the bottom, like that. Something. I like it on the top, I think. Okay. Photo mat for a wallet, photo mat for a 4 by 6, and this is a key print. All right, let's see what we're doing. Let's get our layout. I don't know what they are banging across the street. I have all my windows closed and my door closed. I don't know if you can hear that banging there. I don't know what's happening. There we go. Our 2 layouts. Here is our other, see how it matches? So we could have a wallet here. This is really nice. That's really nice. We could go like this. Ooh, you know what we could do? I just thought of something. We could have the 2, that would look really nice if we had the photos along the bottom like that. Because remember, we still have a flap that's going to open up that we can have more photos here. So maybe this page will be for horizontal photos. Do we want to do that? Yeah, that's going to look good, I think. What's this? Keep print. Fussy cut images. Ooh. Oh, yeah, we could fussy cut these out. I'll use scissors and cut this out. Now, maybe if fussy cutting isn't my thing. Ooh, see the lace? Yeah, that's nice too. Remember, these 8x8 squares are not photo mats. They're just, they become part of the background. So we can make all kinds of decisions, okay? We could put this right across the center if we wanted. If we didn't want to cut it at all, we could go like that, put it right across the center. Watch this. Watch this. Put this right across the center. And then put the 2 8x8s over top. And then we'll just cut that. That kind of looks good, actually. That would be really, really simple to do. Yeah, look. And then you know there's another photo mat coming. That would be really simple to do. You could even have a thing coming out of the side like that right there. The extra that we don't see. What do we have, about a little bit of an inch there? Yeah, we could try that. So we'll put him aside too. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with the cut print yet, but we'll save that for a second and see how we want to incorporate that on our scrapbook pages. Okay. All right, and we're ready for D. Do you see what is happening? Is this not the most exciting thing? I am overjoyed. I am overjoyed that we are doing this. I have to say, it takes a little bit of time to organize these templates, this part. And I don't know, I just wanted to be able to share it. Like, I thought about, oh, maybe I could sell it in the shop, and oh, I could, but the more I thought about it, I thought, you know, at a root level, we're talking about 5 straight lines or 8 straight lines. So I really just want you to be able to draw them on your own, and then watch the tutorials with me and craft with me. It's so much fun to just watch things being made, and actually use the paper that you love so much. Okay, here we go. I don't know what they are making. Oh, I see out the window. It looks like they're, goodness, it looks like they're like re-siding their house or something. Well, I'm surprised they're doing it on a day like today. It's a bit cold and dreary. Okay, so we have a big keep print. Now I have a big image. See how I saved that? So I want him over here like this. I want that. That's how I'm going to have to cut it. Now I had to flip my paper a bunch of different ways, but see, I want this part to be part of the keep. So I'm not afraid to turn my paper and just have that be the way it cuts. This says cut first, which means I'm going to have to cut an inch in and lay it this way, okay? So I'm going to have to cut. So this is an inch in to the top. This now becomes my top, all right? I'm just going to cut that first. I'm not even going to deal with those little pieces. Oh, ooh, 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 ooh. How was it? Okay, there we go. This is how it was. Okay, now this is how it was. See? Make sure the deer is on the keep print. Can you see that? I'm sorry if I keep going to the side. cut second, 5 3/4 by 11. Well, this is already by 11, so let's cut in 5 3/4. 5 3/4. 5 3/4. 5 3/4. There's the deer right there. We're going to save that. Good. Now we've got this piece. Now, do you know what I'm going to do? Because these measurements are so close, 6 1/4. 6 1/4, and sometimes it can be a little confusing. So it's 6 1/4 this way. I need to cut it 4 1/4. 6 1/4 this way. So when I turn it, you know what I'm just going to do? Sometimes when it gets a little confusing, I just take my pencil and I just mark it right on the paper. On the mark. See how I'm holding it here? And I put the little mark by the mark. I'm going to bring this closer. Now look. I want to make sure I cut it where I've drawn the solid line. So I put a little pencil mark right there. Now I don't have to think about it. I just know to put it in this way and cut on the pencil mark. And now that is a perfect, and this is a perfect. There, good. I messed that up a couple times before. Let's go back and draw. Let's go back and cut these pieces. This is 1 by 3 1/2. So we're going to do a couple 3 1/2s here. Here's a 3 1/2. Here's a 3 1/2. Here's a 3 1/2. And here is a 1 by 1 1/2. Now, let's deal with this. Oh, I put this away too soon. All right, a 1/2 inch. Now, what you're going to want to do, if you have a scoreboard, please use it. If you don't, you can actually use your paper trimmer, or you can just measure the same way we did before, or maybe you want to measure, hold it up against your template and draw a little pencil line, and then hold it on the other side and draw a little pencil line where the dotted line is, and then fold. You could just try to do that way. You can use your paper trimmer by putting it as a scoring tool, putting it up against there like that. And if you have a bone folder or a scoring thing, you can do that. Okay, or you can use your scoreboard. What's on the back? Very good. Okay, and there we've just folded on the line. See, and you saw all those big fancy scrapbook pages with the folds and the flaps, and you thought they were hard to do, and they're not hard to do, actually. Here's a photo mat. Anything else for cards? I think these are extras for cards, but we'll see. Let's get out our scrapbook layouts. Okay. Again, you might be the type that likes to, maybe you need to glue them down as you go. I just changed my mind so much that I think if I had a repositionable adhesive, that would be good for me. Here's this. Okay. I kind of like this over here. We'll put it right on the 8 by 8. And I'm just going to hook it there like that. Here's a 4 by 6 photo mat. Oh, look! Look how it is. Yep. And then there's the other star. What's on the back? Ooh, I like that too. Yeah, I like that too for a photo mat. That looks good too. Yep, that's as easy as pie. That's a little bit too much. We're gonna go like that. But remember, they're gonna have photos on them. So, you know, you can't always just judge there like this. Now here's this little piece. We've got these other little pieces here. Okay, I like to stick this piece just right up here. Maybe we want to do this. I don't know, we've got a lot of stars and things going on. We can put him right here. We have some of these other pieces, right? These are real nice for to put up against, let's go like this, to put up against these wallet photos, like that. Make sure I'm in the picture. Down here, you can have them, I mean, you could do a lot of different things. Maybe you want to use them on your cards, on your A2 cards, right? Like that. Or like that, you know, somewhere, right? Sometimes it's nice just to have extra pieces. I think I'm going to leave this just as is. I think this is going to be a little bit of a simpler layout. Did I write any instructions on them? No, I didn't. Good. I'm glad I didn't do that. Yeah, I think I might want these on the cards. I think so. Ooh, or you know what else? No. Oh, I like that. No, that blends in a little bit too much. I'm going to put them on the cards. Okay, so I'm going to put one on each card just behind me, and I'll get to that later. Here is the keep print. Now, I am going to fussy cut this out, okay? And then I'm going to have all this left over up here. So what I'll do, let's see, I'm going to fussy cut this, and where are these going to go? These guys are going to go, I think they're going to go right under here. And then I'll put this on top like that. Do we want to do that? Maybe we want to have them, oh no, I like that better. I like that better because look at the pattern. This pattern, and then this can come out of it, and I don't really have to trim that much. It can come out of the photo mat, and then I'll kind of disguise that flat edge with something. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Now with this extra, I think I'm going to cut a title. I have some really good die cut letters. Yeah, I have some good die cut letters. Or I could even do more shapes like die cut. I'm going to do a die cut title out of that. Okay, that's good. So what happened to that lacy piece that I wasn't sure about? Because I sure like that idea. Yeah, I liked that. I know I'm going to use that for a fussy cut, so I'm going to put that off to the side. Yeah, right here. I like this idea here. And I didn't do this on any of my other samples. As a matter of fact, before we go any further, let me bring these back out. Okay, in particular, this one that doesn't look anything like the paper we're using. And I can show you what I did. So here we have, can you see them? Yeah, you can. Here's that strip. Here's the little strip. This, I think I just had extras. Oh, the strips from cutting off the thing. That's what I did. I notched them and put them there from making it 12 by 12. That's what I did there. Here's the fussy cut thing. These are cut aparts. Here is where I used, remember these pieces that here I said, oh, I'll use them on the cards, and I just put them over by the cards? That's how I used them there. I put them on the wallets, just on the bottom of the wallet photos. See these circles? Well, this piece here that I'm going to use the lace across the middle, instead I used, well, I had dies. I have circle dies. And I used it when I did this layout to cut circles. So that's how I did that. But at a base level, you can see that it's the same. You've got two wallets. You've got a flap open, two 4x6s. On the flap, you can put another photo, and then you can put decorations on the inside. That's the basis of the layout. And here's your 8x8 squares. Okay. So yeah. That looks really good. And on the cards, here's my 4x6s that I made on the other one. Right? Here's another one of those strips. Cut circles. I just used a circle punch. So remember too, on some of these pieces where you've got leftover pieces or we're waiting, you know, you can use punches, cut titles. I guess I just didn't want to force the use of an entire sheet of paper and make you do it in a certain way every single time, because it depends on the paper you have, that you might want to do something different with it. So that's why the templates are the way they are. This is great. The more I thought about it, the more I thought, well, I think I am just going to cut circles. I'll use my dies and my Big Shot machine. I like to fussy cut these images out, but I think maybe just for the tutorial purpose, I think maybe I'll just cut the circles from here, from this piece from C. I even thought, there's 1,000 different ideas I thought of, you know, putting that piece in the middle, as you heard me keep saying, back and forth with that piece in the middle. But I thought, no, let me just, I think I'll just cut some circles from here. So, let's see here. What circles do I want? These dies, I think, are from Creekbank Creations. I'm almost sure of it. And they have a little, like a little notch in there, which is nice because it comes out with a stitched edge. I like that. So let me see how many I can fit here. That is going to look nice. And I will go like that. And let's see here. Off the corner. Whoops. Oh my goodness. Let me go right here. Let's see. We'll go like that. Be a little bit more careful. Go like that. There we go. That's fine. That's fine. That'll be just fine. Okay, good. I could save this outside edge, but I'm not going to. This project, I'm not. I have a whole video on using your scraps, using your die cut scraps. So, but just I just don't feel like it today. So, all right, good. I'm happy about that with the circles. Let's see where we can put these on the layout, and we'll keep things moving. I got my die cut machine a while back, so I feel like it was a special edition or some kind of limited edition, and that's why it's got those colors like that. All right, where are we going to put these circles here? First of all, I have to think in myself, where are my photos going to go? Okay, so I've got these wallet photos here. There are these smaller photos this way. I like how it's going horizontal. I like, let's see, we could put a photo here. We could put a photo underneath here. And what will go here? I feel like we could put one here. Just leave that blank for upcoming photo. Maybe we need some balance here. Right like that. Or up like that. Oh no, we can't do that because the music notes. Well, here, let's put a smaller one. Let's go like this. There, that good. That creates balance there. And we have one that reads this way. Very nice. We can go like this up top of here. That looks good. We have this one. Can you guys see? There we go. Maybe here. Ooh, maybe here. Yeah, that's good. Let's put this underneath. That's even better. Like that. Yeah, that's good like that. And now we have one right here. 1, 2, 3. That might be good on the layout. I could cut it in half and do 4, 5. I could cut that in half and do 4, 5. How would I do it though? No, I like the 3. We'll use this on a card. This card didn't have a whole lot going on. So we'll use this on this card. Ooh, that looks nice. Oh, I forgot about the back. All right, we'll go like that somehow. Forgot about the back. Yeah, I did forget about the back. Ooh, that looks nice like that. Bring in another color. Yeah, ooh, good. Glad I almost forgot to turn that over. Yeah, that's good. That's nice because that creates balance here and here. This with the green goes here and here. That looks good. And then we've still got the line going horizontally. Yeah, very nice. Looks great. Super. Okay, now before I will say this, if you have any ink, you want to make sure to ink the outside edges of stuff before you put it down. So yeah, we're going to have to be mindful of that. Also, let's see. Remember on this, I was going to fussy cut this out, right? I thought I'd do the title Winter Calm. I think I'm going to do this on my Cricut with the rest of this paper. I think I'll do that. But if I want this cut out, where am I going to put this? So let me think about that for a second. I think the most logical spot is just right there. But I don't want it to be floating. So what I would have to do is go like this here. And then maybe I wouldn't need this piece, this circle piece. Maybe I put it this way then. Underneath the bottom, something. Maybe I turn it this way. I don't know, but that's going to have to go there and it's going to have to go down first. Okay, so I have to be mindful. Oh yeah, I will need that piece. I will need it, but guess what? I'm going to put it here like this and then still end up putting my picture over top of that. It looks a little matchy-matchy. No, it's going to have to go like this. It's going to somewhere. Oh, I like that. And this over top. Yeah, that's better. Okay. All right, good. That gives me an idea. So I can't forget about this. And yeah, then the only thing that is left that we haven't used somewhere is this right here, right? From B. And this, I already know I'm going to use these two on cards. So let me put that aside for a second. So what I'm going to do is fussy cut this out with some detail scissors. And I'm going to print my title here. Again, you can use that space for however you want. Check both sides. You could even use this as a photo frame. You could put it on a card. You could use photo mats, whatever. Punch out some... Ooh, I think I have a star punch. Yeah, I do. Look. You could use look at that, with the star paper and punch stars out of the star paper. That would look cool every here and there. Maybe not on this layout, but somewhere. Yeah, that's a good idea. I should do that too with any leftover stuff I have. That's a good idea. Some of these pieces maybe. Yeah, that'd be good. All right, and then I'll come back with that and we'll continue on. I don't think you need to watch me Cricut cut or fussy cut or all this other stuff. So yeah, we'll be back in just a second. So I fussy cut this out here. Ooh, I'm not even done. I just saw that. Real nice. Started the video and wasn't even done. That's okay. I can finish this little bit while I talk. And I also went over to my Cricut and cut out the title. Oh, and actually, a good thing I had a little bit more to do here. You know, I was thinking, I don't want you to feel like intimidated or pressured if, you know, in any type of way, if you don't have a Cricut or a die cutting machine or whatever, just whatever you have. Like you'll notice in my other ones, I didn't use my Cricut to cut a title. You could use letter stickers. I think I actually just used some quotes from the pattern paper, like that came with the set of pattern paper. So yeah, don't feel any type of way if you're just starting out and only have a few sheets of pattern paper. There we go. That's a little bit better. Goodness. So here's what we have. Like I said, I fussy cut that out. Did this with the Cricut. Excuse me. Here's what I have left. See how I did that? That's a lot of paper left. And I think what I'm actually going to do, I don't know if you can see, but on this, there's a snowflake. And then here there's another snowflake. And I think I might actually, I don't know if I'm going to fussy cut all that. I might fussy cut this and put it in a corner. But I actually think I'm going to go through with like a punch. As a matter of fact, I wonder if I have a punch right now. Because I was talking about punches earlier. Yeah, I think I do. Will this one fit? Oh, yeah. Yeah, see? Almost. Yeah, that would look really good in a corner there. I know you might not be able to see it. Well, I might need a bigger one because I kind of want it to get all the way out. I wonder if I can get in this one. I'm going to have to trim this down a little bit. I need to get my different punches, but I think I'm going to use my punch. I think I'm going to do some with that star punch for another project. Like I said, I could get a few circles out of here. You know how sometimes you just need a few things at the end where you're like, it needs something right there. And I think that I'll be glad I did that with these quote unquote scraps before I throw them away. But that's exactly why I created the templates the way I did, where you've got some wiggle room with the paper. Now, I want to talk about what we've got going on here because you might think it looks a little weird. And where are the pictures going to go? I don't have my picture samples out, but obviously the pictures are going to go here. You can put them wherever you want. If you want to have a picture that goes behind this, for example, but you don't know which picture right now, you could always just glue it down in such a way where you leave, oops, get you something here. Maybe you want to glue it down just like the tree and the bottom and leave this open so you can slide a picture back there. I don't know what you have in mind. But about these letters and about the edges, I think what I'm going to do here is use some black. I think I'm going to use some black ink. If you are new to card making and scrapbooking in particular, you may not have any ink anywhere in your stash. And that's okay because you probably think, well, I don't want to stamp anything, or I don't know how I would use it on my layout. But I want to show you something here. This is just a scrap of something. Let me get situated. Let me show you. Let's see. Let me start with some letters. Okay, this is just the tool. Now you can go like this on the outside if you want, and just do like a little bit of the outside. If you have a makeup sponge, you could start with that too. Okay, now see the difference? That just little bit, just a little bit. Same goes for something like this, the piece, the edge of something, okay? Like I said, if you're new, you may not think of this stuff or know how you're going to use it, but look how much of a difference that makes. Or here's our photo mat, right, for our wallet photo. Some people go like this too and drag it along the side. And see how I did that? It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, no big deal. It just gives a little bit of a, now see the difference? See, it gives it that little bit of a pop. So you'll notice that I wasn't in too big of a hurry to glue everything down. And this is exactly why. Now, if you are a veteran scrapbooker, you're way ahead of me, I'm sure. And you've probably got more ideas even now. Okay, that's it. Also, I like to actually ink the outside edges of my actual page. Let me show you what a difference this makes, okay? And I did this on my other one too, but this is how you do it. I'll just show you a little bit. See the difference? See that? Don't be afraid. And if you're one of those people that has to use acid-free, lignin-free, everything, these inks, they say acid-free on them. They are acid-free. If you are very concerned, where's my, very concerned about, I'm trying to multitask here. Yeah, you could also get the Archival Ink. This is acid-free, permanent, waterproof. This is another ink you could use. So don't steer clear from inks just because you're not sure how to use them or you don't think you're going to do stamping. There are lots of other things too, just to give that little pop. And let me show you something. I know I'm stepping away, but remember on the layout that I showed you when I did this earlier? I did this earlier with the same paper. See how I inked around the outside edges of the whole thing? This was the same paper, it's just used in a different way, the way it came out. If you look closely, you can see just around the outside edges of the whole 12 by 12 layouts. Just a little bit of ink right there, see it? So, up to you. Again, don't feel any type of pressure if you don't have these supplies or whatever. I think I'm going to go ahead and glue these down now. I think I'm good enough to glue this down. And once I glue this down, then let me come back and then we can work on the cards, okay? So I fussy cut this out here. Ooh, I'm not even done. I just saw that. Real nice. Started the video and wasn't even done. That's okay. I can finish this little bit while I talk. And I also went over to my Cricut and cut out the title. Oh, and actually, a good thing I had a little bit more to do here. You know, I was thinking, I don't want you to feel like intimidated or pressured if, you know, in any type of way, if you don't have a Cricut or a die cutting machine or whatever. Just whatever you have. Like you'll notice in my other ones, I didn't use my Cricut to cut a title. You could use letter stickers. I think I actually just used some quotes from the pattern paper, like that came with the set of pattern paper. So yeah, don't feel any type of way if you're just starting out and only have a few sheets of pattern paper. There we go. That's a little bit better. Goodness. So here's what we have. Like I said, I fussy cut that out. Did this with the Cricut. Excuse me. Here's what I have left. See how I did that? That's a lot of paper left. And I think what I'm actually going to do, I don't know if you can see, but on this, there's a snowflake. And then here, there's another snowflake. And I think I might actually, I don't know if I'm going to fussy cut all that. I might fussy cut this and put it in a corner. But I actually think I'm going to go through with like a punch. As a matter of fact, I wonder if I have a punch right now. Because I was talking about punches earlier. Yeah, I think I do. Will this one fit? Oh, yeah. Yeah, see? Almost. Yeah, that would look really good in a corner there. I know you might not be able to see it. Well, I might need a bigger one because I kind of want it to get all the way out. I wonder if I can get in this one. I'm going to have to trim this down a little bit. I need to get my different punches, but I think I'm going to use my punch. I think I'm going to do some with that star punch for another project. Like I said, I could get a few circles out of here. You know how sometimes you just need a few things at the end where you're like, it needs something right there. And I think that I'll be glad I did that with these quote unquote scraps before I throw them away. But that's exactly why I created the templates the way I did, where you've got some wiggle room with the paper. Now, I want to talk about what we've got going on here because you might think it looks a little weird. And where are the pictures going to go? I don't have my picture samples out, but obviously the pictures are going to go here. You can put them wherever you want. If you want to have a picture that goes behind this, for example, but you don't know which picture right now, you could always just glue it down in such a way where you leave, oops, get you something here. Maybe you want to glue it down just like the tree and the bottom and leave this open so you can slide a picture back there. I don't know what you have in mind. But about these letters and about the edges, I think what I'm going to do here is use some black. I think I'm going to use some black ink. If you are new to card making and scrapbooking in particular, you may not have any ink anywhere in your stash, and that's okay, because you probably think, well, I don't want to stamp anything, or I don't know how I would use it on my layout. But I want to show you something here. This is just a scrap of something. Let me get situated. Let me show you. Let's see. Let me start with some letters. Okay. This is just the tool. Now you can go like this on the outside if you want, and just do like a little bit of the outside. If you have a makeup sponge, you could start with that too. Okay. Now see the difference? That just little bit, just a little bit. Same goes for something like this, the piece, the edge of something, okay? Like I said, if you're new, you may not think of this stuff or know how you're going to use it, but look how much of a difference that makes. Or here's our photo mat, right? For our wallet photo. Some people go like this too and drag it along the side. And see how I did that? It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's fine. It's fine. Okay? No big deal. It just gives a little bit of a, now see the difference? See, it gives it that little bit of a pop. So you'll notice that I wasn't in too big of a hurry to glue everything down. And this is exactly why. Now, if you are a veteran scrapbooker, you're way ahead of me, I'm sure. And you've probably got more ideas even now. Okay, that's it. Also, I like to actually ink the outside edges of my actual page. Let me show you what a difference this makes, okay? And I did this on my other one too, but this is how you do it. I'll just show you a little bit. See the difference? See that? Don't be afraid. And if you're one of those people that has to use acid-free, lignin-free, everything, these inks, they say acid-free on them. They are acid-free. If you are very concerned, where's my, very concerned about, I'm trying to multitask here. Yeah, you could also get the Archival Ink. This is acid-free, permanent, waterproof. This is another ink you could use. So don't steer clear from inks just because you're not sure how to use them or you don't think you're going to do stamping. There are lots of other things too, just to give that little pop. And let me show you something. I know I'm stepping away, but remember on the layout that I showed you when I did this earlier? I did this earlier with the same paper. See how I inked around the outside edges of the whole thing? This was the same paper, it's just used in a different way, the way it came out. If you look closely, you can see just around the outside edges of the whole 12 by 12 layouts. Just a little bit of ink right there, see it? So, up to you. Again, don't feel any type of pressure if you don't have these supplies or whatever. I think I'm going to go ahead and glue these down now. I think I'm good enough to glue this down. And once I glue this down, then let me come back and then we can work on the cards, okay? All right, let's get started on finishing our cards. The layouts are almost done and they look so good. Really, we just need to add our photos and final embellishments. But we still have the cards and pieces. And the only thing that we haven't cut or done anything with yet out of the templates is this piece right here. And I'm glad I saved this for last, because remember, we ended up cutting a circle and we didn't know, I didn't know if I was going to use this piece, how I was going to use it, but I'm glad I waited here because now it gives me a little bit of a better idea. So let's see. These are the two A2 cards and these are the two 4x6 cards. And really, it's just a matter of making decisions, you know, how do we want them to go? And these strips here are all the same size. And I believe they're all from the same pattern, almost. So we can just make decisions. I think what I'm gonna do is, I really like this circle. Boy, am I glad I cut that circle. And I don't know about this. I feel like I'm going to do a notch and maybe some ink. Okay. And I think I'll just cut this here. Let me just move this over here and just cut it, because I think this will help me. All right. It looks like these will be good on A2 cards, so I might end up moving this guy over here or something like that. let's see what size we need. Well, let me just cut it as it is. How about that? Actually, let me make it so, so it's a little bit more even. Okay, like that. Yeah, that looks like a little bit more even. As a matter of fact, I probably could make it a little bit more. I'm eyeballing this just based on how it was cut on the other side there. All right, now what is this gonna look good like? Is it gonna be good here? Oh, see? Now see, with this, let's say I go to put it on this one. Well, that's a little bit busy, but I can flip it over and go like that. And then I could even go like this. Oh, look with the bird. See how it kind of matches? I don't know. Or go like this and add another pattern. Like this. See, that's cute. Let's do the other one. I feel like I'm going to get more out of it if I do it this way. I don't think that's the actual way to do it, but let me just trim this down just a bit. Just a bit. I'm just eyeballing this at the moment. Okay. Let's do this here. All right, good. I don't think I'm going to save those. I don't feel like it. All right, let's see. What if we took the circle off and did this here? That might look cute, I guess. I'd have to cut it a little bit more. I don't know. I kind of like it on a different pattern. Let's see. What was our other one? Oh, yeah, here. This kind of fits it. See? Oh, look. See, we have this and this. Or we could turn it. Oh, you know what else? You know what I didn't think of here? Let's take this off and let's turn this way. And go like that. Yeah, that looks good. I'll tell you the thing that's, yeah, that looks good. Boy, you almost don't even need this little piece here. Because we could just add another embellishment and a something. That's fine. We'll just move it to another card. No problem. We'll move it to that card. The thing that's going to change your crafting is if you change your mind and know that you can turn the paper. Turning the paper is the thing that will change your mind. Good. So now we have two pieces. Remember, we have all these circles and extra things that we can add for things that look empty. Okay. We're done with our templates. Now here's the fun part. Here is the fun part. You can look back and at your paper pack and look and see what extras do you have. For example, in the back, let me grab this from over here. I should have had it right next to me, but of course I didn't. Like in the back of this stack, remember this is called Tackle Your Stack, right? Well, in the back of like this stack, there's this whole sheet of cut aparts. This is where you can use them. So you can use these on your cards. You can go back through your scraps and see, do you have anything that would go good as like a perfect image on top of a card? But at least you don't have to think of every single thing. You've got card starts right here and pieces used. Now in this collection that I'm using, let's see, I have off to the side all these different things that come with this set. Okay. There's a set like of Project Life cards. There's extras to cut. There's fussy cut elements, little things. There's a quotes thing that comes with it. So look how simple this is going to be. Hope and joy right here and a gingerbread house. I mean, basically, there's your simple card, right? So it just depends on the collection that you're using. Sometimes you have a thing, like in this case, look, here's a quote that will fit the whole entire card. So I wouldn't need to use this. I could use this elsewhere. It just depends. This actually comes with oops, I got rid of it. This has some tags that come on the back of the packaging of the 12 by 12 set. So I could cut a tag out and put a tag here if I wanted. So like I said, I didn't want to do too much that was like so regulated, because I wanted you to be able to go through your own stash and use your thing. And maybe you've got cool stickers, or so many stickers, or like those little, what are they called? You know, the embellishments that are like 3-dimensional. Maybe you've got a ton of stuff. Maybe you've got beads, brads, little things, you know, little Christmas tree things, whatever. Just whatever you have in your stash. Now's the time you can pull it out and be like, oh, yes, I knew I had that somewhere. This is, I'm not going to go into a whole thing, but like, look at this. I just reached out of my drawer. Like, I have these. They don't really go with this thing, but go through your stash. When you're this far into a project, you'll be like, oh, yeah, I know what I could use next, because you know what you have. You know what you have. You know, maybe you've got, this is just, you know, stuff like this, embellishments, perfect, just whatever. So this is, let's glue this stuff down. This is bothering me here. Where did my scissors go? Because I know that what I want to do is make a little cut right here. I do know that I want to do this. Let me fold this into, no, let me just do it. Let me use my bigger scissors. I think I'm going to go like this and just cut this. So I have a notch like that. See how that is? That looks a little bit crooked. Let's try that one more time, folks. Let's try that one more time. I could have used a square punch to do it perfectly, but I just didn't. Yeah, that's going to look much better, because now, let's say I go like this across here and like this across here with another one. I'm just doing this off the top of my head, just to give you some ideas of what to do with these pieces, right? Maybe you don't want it that long. Maybe you want it like this. Oh, that looks kind of good. Like that. Put it like this. Yeah, that looks kind of good. With just this piece like that. And then a thing right there. I'll cut apart. That looks good. That's exactly how I'm going to glue that down. This looks pretty good the way it is, although I think I'm going to add some ink around the outside of something. This looks pretty good the way it is, but I really like the way that notch, I keep reaching for these baby scissors. I think I'm going to do that on this one too. It's just such an easy way to make something look good. Yeah, see how that is? I could use this triangle that I just cut out. I don't think I'm going to be that meticulous though. What about this? Yeah, I think I'll do it here too. Why not? I end up doing this a lot, actually. It just looks good to me. So, can you see everything? Maybe this is kind of in the way. Good, these are our cards to start. A card start. Do I want this across the bottom? I don't know, that looks a little like too patriotic for with the stars there. Oh, maybe I need it to look like that. It's all right, I guess. This is where I think some of these circles would come in handy. You know, like here you've got a circle, you know, can add a little circle here, stars, right? Where would you add them, you ask? I don't know. That's just the thing. You might think it looks just fine. Maybe something for balance. I don't know. Where's that other thing? This thing that we cut out? That would look good. I don't know. We just play with it, I guess, until we're happy with it. So let's see what we can come up with. Let's see what we can come up with some embellishments here on these cards. Ooh, there's ribbon too. If you have ribbon, now would be the time. Oh, look at that. Now check this out. What I could do here is I could, let's see, on this one, this would be the one to do it. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to do it. Yeah, that would be the one. So we'll glue this down like this. Let me just do it. This is exactly it here. I hope I like it, because after all this, if I don't like it, okay. Yeah, we'll glue this down, and then we'll get a piece of ribbon and wrap it around the panel before we tie it down. Or before we stick it down. Yeah, look at that. Here's what we'll do. Stick this here. All right, good. That's a really nice looking panel though. Okay, good. Now, let me get a piece of ribbon. All right. Put that off to the side. Yeah, this is what I wanted. Now watch this. Let's see what we can do here. Do a trick. Okay, we're not going to wrap this all the way around. We're going to make it look like we did that. We're going to make it look like we do something that we don't do. Okay. I need something skinny. Where is the beginning of this tape? Okay. Put a little bit of double-sided tape here on the ends of the ribbon. Take this off like this. Yeah, this is going to look cool. Okay, right here like this. Wrap this around. I feel like I have it upside down because I think that's supposed to look like a heart. All right, we'll just turn it. Oops. Oops. There we go. All right, now it looks like it's wrapped around, right? It looks like it's wrapped around, and we're going to also make it look like we've tied it with a bow. Now, right in here, though, doggone it, I should have done this ahead of time. Well, no, I'm glad I didn't, because we're going to add a bow to, let me add a bow. I'm going to just make a quick bow. With my fingers and add it with a glue dot. I'm going to hold on to it, go around like this, through this way. And through this way. Yeah, that's good. That'll be just fine. Cute. And then we'll stick that on with a glue dot. And what I'm actually going to do is go like this and trim this and make it look like, it's going to make it look like I tied this around the card, but really I didn't. It's just going to be a glue dot. If I have a glue dot though, that is not what I want. That is not what I want. Okay, well, I'll use these little ones. I was trying to look for a bigger one, but I guess I don't have a bigger one. Just one. Let me add an extra one here. Maybe one more just for good luck. All right. But see, before I put this down, you know what I want to do is put a little glue dot. What is on here? I want to take like a little thing and add a glue dot under the ribbon that's going to be under the bow. Just to hold the ribbon in place there on the front. There. And we'll stick the bow just like that. That looks amazing. There. See? That's cute. We can still add more because look, we've got all this room. We can slide something in there. See, let's say I find something cool. I could still slide it in there. No problem. But that's pretty cool. All right, cool. That'll be good there. While I have the ribbon out, maybe I wonder if anything else I could do. Oh, I'm out. Oh my gosh. All right, well, that doesn't happen very often. How often do you finish ribbon? Yeah, not very, huh? Well, we'll save this for some, we're going to need it in a minute. Yeah, good. Let me see what embellishments I have here for my cards, and we'll keep it moving. right, I'm about done. I am about done. I have a few things to finish up here. I pulled a few embellishments. Let me show you what's going to go on here. Okay. Here with the layout, it looks fine. Everything looks really good. I like everything, and it's going to be perfect. Now, I don't really like the way this is just so jagged on the side. So I found this. This is one of the cutouts that I had already cut out. Oops, I don't know how I had it. But anyway, I'm going to put this here like so to just sort of give that a good blend, a more natural look. And then I'm going to add a couple leaves here just to make it look like it's actually supposed to be there. Okay, just the one leaf. This flower then, I just didn't like the perfect corner there. I wanted it to sort of look like it's coming up. So I'm going to do the same thing and add that flower there. All right. Then, okay, these. Remember at the very beginning when I had these on the back of the packaging, I thought, well, I could add a picture back here. It depends on the picture, of course. You know, obviously not this picture. This is just a show. But I thought maybe what I'll do is just add one of these like this. I think that actually looks kind of good. And I'll add that and then glue this down all the way. Because then if I want to add a little bit of journaling, I could. And if not, it's just a nice little accent. I think I'm going to do that. Here, we've got, remember, this is going to be a photo mat. So I know this looks really busy, but remember, it's going to be a photo mat here. Okay, so I'll leave that so that it comes out over the photo. That's going to look really good. And then we'll have a space for a photo here, like maybe not this photo, maybe like a 4x4. Do I have like you could do a 4x4 photo right there. That would look good. Or if you had like a 5x5 photo, that would look good, like a square. And then here's another, oops, let's move this over. Here's another photo mat here, right? So it's going to look different when we put our actual pictures. And then I had this, remember I showed earlier, just as one of the cut apart extras. I want to put this inside here. I do want to add though, I remember I put these circles, remember I used these punches, and I think I need just a little, I don't know what to call it, like a little indicator so that we know that this is a flip open. So let me do that here on the camera. Uh-oh. My glue has been, using it so much. Yeah, we'll go like this. All right, so we're going to stick this just like here. And then when I didn't push it down real good just yet. Yeah, there. Then we'll stick this just like here. Inside. Can you see that? Yeah. That's a good little, just a little indicator here that there's more to it. Okay. Yeah, that'll be really good. Now, once this is all down and I do these final little touches, I'll give you a final look. Remember, a 4x6 photo can go in here. Probably a bigger photo. What is the photo size that could actually go in here? Oops, would help if I turned. Yeah, you could really put, wow. You could almost put, a 5x7. This is a 5x7. Oh yeah, you could put a 5x7 in there. Yep, you sure could. Yeah. So you could put up to a 5x7 photo in there. Oops, put the Polish slide there. I was thinking to myself, if you don't like the look of this blank corner, maybe you can use this circle, not the star side necessarily, but maybe go like this. I kind of like that actually. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to do that. Just here. Can you see that? Let's just add a little. I mean, these are just basic final touches. That's why I don't go ahead. I cut the pieces maybe, but these extra circles and stuff, but I don't exactly know where I'm going to need them. They're just good to have extra, you know. You don't have to go looking then like, oh, it needs something. What can I put there? We already have an option of what you can put there. And that's really good. I don't think I'll use him. That one there. There. It's just a little something. You don't, uh-oh, my flowers. Yeah, that's good. As a matter of fact, look, if I really wanted to that bad, I could go like that. Ooh, I think I do want to. That one was already cut in half because I cut like a half circle just to tie that together. And I'm going to have this run off the side of the page like that. Yeah, that's good. That's fine. It doesn't, it serves no purpose except for to fill the space where you think to yourself, oh, that needs something. Well, let's take care of that then. There. Now see how much better that is? See how your eye notices now the rest of the circles where it didn't before. It just needed that to tie that in. I think I have this off the side. There. Yeah, that's really nice and good. Okay. Well, let me add this down here. All right, let me tape this down, these flowers down. Let me tape this in here, okay? And again, you can go through and see what cut aparts do you have? What embellishments do you have? What's, you know, whatever. Here's what I'm going to caution you about, though. Be mindful. Let me show you something. Be mindful that if you put a picture here, let's say you put this big picture here. Let's just say, okay, that you put this big picture here like this. Get this out of the way. Okay? Or even if you put this little picture. Where's that other little one I had? Maybe you put a little picture. This is what I maybe wouldn't do, is don't put two pictures like this, unless you're going to slide a page protector. Because when you go like this, these two pictures are then going to be face to face, and they'll stick and get tacky over time. You don't want to do that. So I would suggest just one picture and like a little embellishment, or leave it blank. Or you could put, oh, here, look, I had a journaling block ready that I made in the last video. It's just some ink. Did you see how I did the spray ink and then did the flicks with my paintbrush earlier? Well, it's the same thing, but with, I took a piece of cardstock like this, and you fold it and then you dip it in the ink, and then you just go like this. Okay, and you'll create these perfect, well, they're not so perfect, they're imperfectly perfect lines that can be used for journaling. So that would be good, something to go there, journaling. But yeah, I really wouldn't do like picture in picture. That's my grandma, isn't she sweet? I love her. So yeah, so let me finish this up minus the photos, because I want to leave that to you, and then we'll do a final look at everything. Okay. All right, here's a final look. Here is a final look. We did it. Now, again, based on whatever you have, maybe you have metal pieces or fibers or ribbons. Your papers are going to look totally different, I'm sure. Even if you picked up this collection, you know, your version of the layout might be totally different, especially if you decided to use solid color cardstock for your base. That's going to completely change the look. So, you know, do some experimenting. This is A, B, C, and D from the Tackle Your Stack series. Here is the, like I said, the final look. Look at that with the quote in there. Here's room for a photo. The 5x7 photo can fit there. The 4x6 photo can fit there if you want. We have room for a 4x6 photo there if we want. We have a 4x4. You can clearly see we could do a 5x5 photo as well. Down here, we have room for 2 4x6 photos here. That is beautiful. That is seriously so cool. And then here's wallet style photos. I don't have a wallet. Well, I do, but it's not vertical. Like, see how that's the wallet size photo? Okay, that could go right there. You could crop one down. You could even, honestly, you have room for more photos. Because look, even if you had a 5x7 here with this closed, you could still put a wallet right there too. Okay, you could even still put one up here too. All right, so there's room for so many photos. Again, this is just based on this collection that I chose. If you're interested in picking up this Carols in the Snow paper collection, it's by Craft O'Clock, and it is available at the Sandpaper Road shop. There will be a link below to that. Let me show you how the cards turned out. Okay, I'll move these to the side, I think, just like this, so that we can get a good look at the cards. Actually, let me move these off the camera and I'll bring them back in a minute. All right. Look at the cards. So, look how good they look. Oh my goodness. This was the one where, did you see that? Right as I was gluing it, I glued the wrong side because I was going to have the brown side showing, but it looks fine. I didn't worry too much about that. Okay, and then a blank inside. Here's this one. Oops, I need to add a little bit more glue right there. That looks good too. Yep, just sort of a mishmash of Christmas Eve type things. I like this one a lot. I know exactly who's going to get this card. Blank inside. And then this one. This one I turned sideways at the last minute. I like that. And with our bow, yeah, that looks really good. Great. Now, can you imagine if you did the same thing, the same A, B, C, and D with different paper? What if you wanted to work on your child's school album? You'd have room for that 4 or 5x7 picture, right? I mean, just imagine. So you're looking at starting with, let's see, I used 6 sheets of 12x12 and using 2 of them as the base. And then I used a piece of 8.5x11 for my card bases, but if you had pre-made cards or whatever, that's it. So 6 sheets. Wow. So great. Well, the Tackle Your Stack series is just beginning. We have a long way to go. I'm so happy to be able to offer this to you for free. What is the catch? There is no catch. I just want to have more people excited about card making and scrapbooking and just working through their piles of everything. So I would really appreciate it if you could share this video with people that sharing means so much. And when you go ahead and post your makes, all your creations, when you post them on your social medias, it would be awesome if you could add the hashtags sandpaperroad and tackle your stack. This to me is payment enough. If you can just add those when you post on your Facebook page, on your Instagram, on your Pinterest, on your what else is there? On your Twitter. Do you post pictures on Twitter? I don't know. I don't have Twitter, so but all your socials, if you could add these two. Now, if you want me to see it, if you want me to see what you're making, add this one as well, Sandpaper Road Creates, and then I'll be able to see what you're making. But honestly, this is just, it's so fun for me. I hope you're having fun as well. So head over to sandpaperroad.com and click on Tackle Your Stack, and you will see the A, B, C, and D templates that we use today. Okay, these are the A, B. Now these are my hand-drawn ones. The templates are not templates that we, it's encouraging you to hand draw your own as well. You add your notes based on the guides, and then you can use these templates again and again and again and again for other papers. Now, you know, if we're starting with A, B, C, and D, you know what's coming next. Every letter of the alphabet folks. I am working on that pretty soon. I'm working on it. We are getting this up, so soon you will see the next 4 letters. They're always going to release in sets of 4. Here's the exciting part is, since this is the first video, I feel like I have to tell you about this. The plan is that after we do A, B, C, and D, and we do them all the way through A, which I'm going to have to add an AA and a BB so that we have 4. I'm always going to release them in sets of 4. Then it's not over. It's not over. We're going to go back through all of them, and they should interchange. So you should be able to use B and H and M and X and make a totally new set of layouts. And you should be able to use any combination of 4 to make layouts and cards. Now, it won't always be 2 layouts and 4 cards. As a matter of fact, E, F, G, and H I have done already, and that actually makes 5 layouts and 2 cards. And it's the same 4, not the same type of template, but it's, yeah, so we'll make more layouts with the next set of 4. But I'm so excited because by the end, we're going to have a whole album. This is going to be great. It's going to be great. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I can't wait to do the next set with you. Don't forget to add the hashtag sandpaperroad and the hashtag tackleyourstack when you share your projects on all your social medias. Please share this video with your crafty friends. Thanks so much for stopping by. Head to sandpaperroad.com and click on Tackle Your Stack. And can't wait to make more projects with you. So we will see you in the next set of 4 templates. See you next time. Bye-bye.